Do you hear that, Yolina? In Vietnam, the sound of the festival drums marks the beginning of the most significant moments. It is the sound of conversions, where people, community, and history meet. And that is why every beginning of a great journey in Vietnam always begins with the sound of the drum.
The way Vietnam makes its entrance with the sound of festive drum has me so intrigued. It makes Vietnam feel so useful and modern, but I know there's profound depth and history behind it.
Exactly, and that's why today's journey doesn't begin with speeches, but instead with a symphony.
And I'm ready to explore Vietnam step by step with you. I'm incredibly excited for tonight.
And that is why, Yolina and the audiences, I would like to invite you into the symphony where every composition offers a glimpse into a dynamic Vietnam in constant motion. Symphony of Vietnam!
Before coming to Vietnam for Miss Cosmo 2025, my knowledge of this country was very limited, and it came mostly from my history classes. But upon arriving in Vietnam, I experienced a very different Vietnam than I was expecting. It's dynamic, confident, and growing at a truly impressive speed.
After the war, rising from a depleted economy, Vietnam chose a path of reform and integration, placing people and social stability at the foundation of growth. And today, that journey is reflected in very clear numbers. In 2025, Vietnam's economy grew approximately 8%. GDP per capita surpassed $5,000 mark, placing Vietnam in the upper middle income group. And foreign direct investment to Vietnam in the first 11 months of 2025 reached $33.7 billion, the highest in the past 5 years. And from reconstruction to growth, from small-scale production to global integration, Vietnam is now operating in a modern economy in a volatile world.
These figures speak of more than just growth. They show a nation that's entering a new, unmistakable era of confidence. So as we look ahead, what path is Vietnam choosing for its future?
Like you are seeing around us right now, large-scale infrastructural projects. From Long Thanh International Airport to the North-South Expressway, and not to mention seaport system, logistics hub, and newly developed urban areas. That is not just to expand Vietnam's development capacity, but also help Vietnam integrate more deeply with the world. But there's another thing. Vietnam is pursuing a long-term vision for developing a green economy, to driving digital transformation, as well as building a knowledge economy with its people, education, and innovation at the center.
Well, from its historic roots to future aspirations, it seems Vietnam is writing its new chapter in this symphony of development. A million dreams reminds me that every great stride a nation takes begins with a dream, especially those nurtured amidst challenging adversity. Wouldn't you agree, Dylan?
Absolutely. As someone who was born and raised in Vietnam, I really couldn't agree more. Because for Vietnam, that dream took shape after the war, when the nation was devastated and resources were scarce. Yet, the aspiration to rise never really extinguished. From that moment on, Vietnam chose the path of reform, identifying knowledge, science and technology, and creativity as key drivers for national reconstruction, elevate the value of labor, improving the quality of life, and gradually, deeply integrate it with the world.
I'm truly impressed. It's not just about technology, but the way Vietnam places its faith in knowledge and in its people to step into this new era and to adapt.
You're exactly right.
Natural disasters leave behind such devastating loss and heartbreak to all of humanity, and I'm sure in Vietnam as well.
Yes, as a coastal country, in 2025, Vietnam has experienced waves of typhoons and floods that has left devastating loss. But it is in those moments that we've seen Vietnamese spirit shines the brightest, compassionate and ingenuity. Amidst all of this devastating loss, we've seen local functional forces and communities come together to deliver aid to people to help uplift them in their harshest moment. And you're seeing coming down from the ceiling right now, that is the drone that's been operating in the Central region, helping delivering aid to the right people at the right time, all the necessities that they need to overcome the hardship and loss, contributing to preserving life, fragile moments.
Wow, that is truly admirable. To not only see the drone, but to see the science and technology that is being innovative to help with search and rescue, to give resources in such natural disasters. It does make me question and curious, how is technology being integrated into everyday life in Vietnam?
In Vietnam, technology is not confined to the laboratory alone. In the hospitals, you can see technology roaming around, helping doctors delivering COVID-19 medicine to patients. In firefighting, you're also going to see technology tagging along with firefighters in the fight against intense blaze. But also in agriculture, you're also going to see technology helping farmers not only cutting down workloads, but also helping boosting efficiency.
Wow, that's amazing. It makes something very clear to me that technology and science is really its true meaning when it serves humanity, when every innovation extends a helping hand, when it helps, uplifts, and protects people when they face their harshest challenge or reality. What we have just witnessed reveals Vietnam's remarkable inner strength, from sharing and compassion to overcoming adversity through intelligence and community spirit. Dylan, when it comes to stepping on the global stage, how does Vietnam carry forward these values?
Well, I'm glad to give you the answer. It is through composure, steadfastness, and a spirit of cooperation. Now, in the past year, amidst global volatility, Vietnam has chose a clear and distinct path forward to become a trustworthy partner for international friends and a voice for peace, stability, and sustainable development. From high-level exchanges to proactive initiatives at multilateral forums and the unwavering bonds between international friends, Vietnamese legacy and diplomacy has left a proud legacy of milestones.
And perhaps this is the perfect moment for us to reflect on how Vietnam connects to the rest of the world through relationships, partnerships, and trust.
One
Day we'll finally know Vietnam, and that is today.
Well, thank you so much for that. And so I really want to ask, when you accept the opportunity to go to Vietnam for Miss Cosmo 2025, what impresses you the most about Vietnam?
Yeah, I've been here for a short time, but I've been enjoying the incredible food, traveling to very different regions, each with their own story. And yet, in the short time I've been here, despite traveling and embracing as much as I can, I feel like there's still so much that I need to explore and take in.
Exactly, and that is the sentiment not only you felt, but also for many people around the world as well. Because there's so much to Vietnam's beauty that it's hard to explore, whether you've seen them on social medias or simply on televisions. But that is exactly one of the reasons why Vietnam Today, the international TV channel, was established. And do you know the motto for the channel?
Ooh, I do not.
Well, it's right behind you, your window on Vietnam. A window so you can see, understand, and put a little bit of Vietnam closer to your heart. And through our TV channel, Vietnam Today, the program Symphony of Vietnam will keep carrying on the melodies and image of Vietnam to the rest of the world.
Vietnam Today, a special note in the symphony of a rising Vietnam.
In 2025, we have witnessed Vietnamese culture moved on from being preserved to full-on being transformed into cultural products. So things like films, music, and even big cultural events.
And what's interesting is that these creations aren't just intended for domestic use.
That is right. Many Vietnamese artists, works, and even cultural spaces have reached international markets, drawing strong attentions and impressions as well as global attractions. And that is when culture turned into an industry, creating economic benefits, expressing identity, and connecting Vietnam with the rest of the world.
It's a very modern way of storytelling, where culture is both the foundation and the driver of development.
And if there's anything we've learned about Vietnam in 2025, that's the country is taking confident steps along this path.
Who's gonna be the best in our Yai performance? Miss Cosmo Peru!
The image of Vietnamese traditional costume outside at Miss Cosmo 2025 stands out and pervades well-crafted Vietnamese identity.
Now I think it's a time for Vietnam to showcase to the world, just like the slogan of Vietnam is Raising Era. And you can see that this year the theme of Miss Cosmo is Raising Dragon. In the long run, I think we want to position Miss Cosmo as a bright brand of Vietnam.
Dylan, after watching all of these performances, I feel like I'm not just watching a show. I feel like I'm truly being invited into a Vietnamese space or story about culture, the environment, and the experiences within.
What is it that you feel?
I feel a lot of love and passion towards Vietnam. It's amazing to watch all these experiences, the history, the culture, but also the new modern light.
That's exactly where a lot of people would want to explore a little bit further.
Further how?
Further right now.
Wow.
So that is Hanoi, the northern part of Vietnam, where the beauty of the four seasons just gives rise to beauties all around the year, unique in every season. And right behind you over there is the central region of Vietnam, where the beauty of historical sites blends in with nature.
I see a familiar place.
Yes, we see snows falling over on that side as well, if you've watched Miss Cosmo 2025. It's all thanks to these beautiful places that a lot of people really want to come to Vietnam and explore.
Yes, I feel like I found that Vietnam doesn't invite people with slogans, but really about the idea of experiences, the culture, and the people within Vietnam.
You're not the only one who is feeling that way, because millions of tourists around the world also comes to Vietnam wanting to experience that new world. But also at the same time, if they've visited Vietnam before, they want to have the experience over and over and over again.
Well, show me, and the audience, of course, how we're going to experience that journey and that feeling.
Absolutely. So, let's go and experience the stories of Vietnam's tourism. Once again, I would like to thank all the musicians, the artists, and the performers who are here on the stage today and join us on this beautiful harmony of Symphony of Vietnam.
And as the final notes of Vietnam quintessence fade, I realized tonight was more than a performance. It was a story told through multiple voices.
Voices drawn from the past and the present, from aspiration and creativity, and from Vietnamese people both at home and across the world.
Each performance was a different note.
But together they form a symphony, unified, confident, and full of vitality.
A Vietnam that preserves its identity.
And is ready to connect.
A Vietnam that tells its story through culture.
And listens to the world with openness. That is the spirit of Symphony of Vietnam, connecting the world.
Thank you for joining us for this special gala evening.
And we're looking forward to see you all again in the stories of Vietnam, told in Vietnam's own voice on Vietnam Today. Once again, thank you all so much, and Happy New Year!